Hazen.
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Get on baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
I woke up this morning and I'm thinking, who is it possibly in this world who I would rather have on the podcast more than Torey Lovullo? And then I realized there was nobody I'd rather have on in this entire world, in this whole universe, than Torey Lovullo.
Hi. I say it every time. You are the best hype man I've ever known, because that's such an empty statement. I know that you have other people you would love to talk to, JK being one of them, 100%. I know you'd rather, go shoot the breeze with Mike Lowell, who, was your first book or whatever. But I believe it. You made me believe it. You are present right now, and I am the most important thing to Rob Bradford. So thank you.
That is a fact. And by the way, as a quick behind the curtain, I was actually supposed to speak to the aforementioned Joe Kelly after this podcast today, because as we tape this is the year anniversary of me flying to Los Angeles for 18 hours to get a baseballs and boring tattoo with Joe.
Nice.
So I felt I was going to respect the moment. Yeah. His kids took over and he has canceled it till tomorrow. So this doubles down on, you go to the top of the list. So.
I appreciate that. What, you flew 18 hours to get to
California? No, I flew to LA across the country.
Oh. Okay.
I got the tattoo and then I flew back. I was in there for 18 hours. Yeah.
I got you. All right.
And as a gift for your excellence, is going to make you feel even better.
Yeah.
We had talked last time we get together, which was in September in Arizona in the dugout. And I said, great things are coming for you.
Yeah.
And they almost did. I feel like it was like they almost did. Almost.
Yeah.
I can only put you in positions to succeed. So, but we talked a little bit about we were just talking about this, how you got your shoe deal stripped from you.
Yeah.
Stripped. Because you had mentioned I'm wearing a Jordan brand, and Zach Allen came on the podcast and he said he was really doing everything he can, North Carolina guy, to get the Jordan brand sponsorship, and they don't give out deals anymore. And you told the story of how you had a deal when you were a Red Sox bench coach.
Yeah.
And then you become a manager, which last time I checked was more important, and you got it stripped from you, right?
Yeah, that's a good pull. You went into the Rolodex, and that's a good memory. You're right about that. I'll never forget. I was proud Nike wearer, and they were awesome. They took such good care of John Farrell and the rest of the staff, and we went to the World Series our first year. They gave us a little bit of an added bonus, and it's a couple $1,000. It's not earth shattering. It's not like some of these deals these players are getting today. So a couple extra $1,000 of merchandise. And I was the guy at Christmas. My family was loving my Christmas presents, my family and friends. So it was going real good. So fast forward a couple more years, I become the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I still have the part of the deal that I'd signed in Boston, and it was coming due and it was going to expire. And I talked to the Nike guy when I saw him in spring training. And I said, what are we going to do about next year? He said, by the way, buddy, there is no next year. You got to remember one thing. This is Arizona. You're not in Boston anymore. So that was a dose of humble pie for sure. But I got to tell you, Nike still gives me the sneakers and the turf shoes whenever I need them. But it's a little bit different than it used to be. The relationship for sure changed.
All right, because you are such a loyal friend and follower and supporter. This is what I'm going to do. This is this is a Christmas gift that you're going to get. What's your first game? March 28th or something like that? What is it?
Yeah. I think it's 28th or 29th. I can't remember.
All right. You are going to have the first ever Baseballs and Boring custom cleats sent to you.
Oh, whoa.
Now, if you want to get, and you can pick whatever kind of cleats you have. We have Jeremy Guthrie, who was on. Remember Jeremy Guthrie, of course.
Of course, I manage Jeremy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, so perfect. Maybe we'll get a discount because he owns custom cleats. So, but he, you can pick the cleats, which, that could be Nike or whatever. But baseball isn't boring. These are yours. These are yours.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't wear cleats, so they got to be some sort of like turf
shoe, whatever shoes you want.
Whatever shoe I want, I got to send to you, and then Jeremy Guthrie takes it from there.
Yeah, we spread the message because
I'm in on that.
And you can do whatever. It could be Birkenstocks for all I care. I don't, if you want.
Can you imagine that? I always thought Phil Jackson was going to be the first one to wear Birkenstocks as an active coach, head coach, manager. And can you imagine me making a mound change wearing Birkenstocks? That'd be pretty savage.
Baseball's and boring Birkenstocks would be.
Pretty savage. Unbelievable. I love the simplicity of baseball isn't boring. You nailed it. I think it speaks volumes about you because you're so dedicated, thorough. You're awesomely attractive. And that baseball isn't boring is so good. It's so simple and so delicious. Did a good job.
This is like always becomes a contest on how we can build each other up.
I need you mid-season. To be my hype guy for sure.
But I felt like when we get together in September, it was perfect timing. I think you guys did go on a little bit of a run. I think so.
Yeah.
In September, right? You had a good September.
We did. It was actually after the trade deadline. We traded away a bunch of guys, right? Eugenio Suarez, Josh Naylor, Merrill Kelly, Shelby Miller, and others. I can't remember, but those were some horses for us. Those were 4 big horses. And Mike Hazen came into the clubhouse in the stadium up in Sacramento where the A's are playing, and on August the 1st. And this is what I love about Mike. He's so front facing. He said, "This is why I did it. This is what I expect as we're moving forward. Everybody that's young and playing, you're going to play here. Don't tell me in April when we send you down, you never got a chance. You're getting a chance right now. So go make the most of it." And I'm telling you, our team caught fire. We were 10 games under 500. We got to a couple games above 500, I think 3 or 4. We finished just about 500, but we were in the race until the Friday before the season ended. Mm-hmm. And that's all I kept saying to the guys. Let's just stay hungry, stay positive. Let's get in the race. Let's stay in the race. Let's get there until the last week and see where we're at. And I was proud of our guys. We played good baseball.
So there's 2 questions that come off of that. Number one, do you tell that to those young guys? Do you literally tell that same message, say, hey, listen, I'm going to give you your shot. So don't come to me like if it's April and you're being sent down.
Yeah. Mike said it, and then I just amplified it the rest of the way. If somebody were to come in and say to me, like, this is your shot, man. Remember what Mike talked about. This is your shot. Go take the most of it. And, I don't BS guys. I can deliver the messages. I can have a soft landing. It just depends on the personality of the person I'm talking to. But when you say something like, don't miss your opportunity, there's only one way to say it. Like, go do it and go get it right now.
So who do you think took advantage of that message the most? I mean, you can have the message. A guy could just have be nicked up or something and have a bad couple months. It is what it is. But who do you think that now you look back and say, oh man, they took advantage of that opportunity?
Yeah, there's one name that comes to mind immediately. It's Blaze Alexander. Blaze.
What a catch he made, by the way. Oh my goodness, I was there.
He's a sick athlete. He's tooled up, and the tools are finally popping out. And we always loved the energy. The focus was something that was continuing to develop. The passion for the game was always there. He wanted to be real good, and he wanted to be real good so fast that sometimes you get in your own way. But I think he figured out how to slow the game down a little bit, and he made huge strides. He took over the everyday spot at third base, played great defense, had some really, really big hits. We dumped him into left field, would make all sorts of circus catches. Just a really good athlete, and I think for sure he's the one guy that comes to mind and took advantage of it.
So how do you view him now?
Well, he's got to go earn. We're not going to hand anything to anybody. That's going to be my messaging. That's been my messaging to the guys as I talked to them throughout the course of the end of the season, exit 101s, and then that carries on through some of the conversation that I'm having right now with these guys. And look, my job's year round, right? I don't take time off and totally separate from the field. Like
Do you get paid year round? Do you get paid year round?
Yes, I do get paid year round. I do get paid right.
I'm just checking. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Right. Players get paid during the baseball season. That's a really good question. But I don't. I still stay in contact with them. I feel like that's part of my job to let them know they're thought about. Just create that continuity and that togetherness. Our facility is probably 6 to 7 miles from where I'm sitting right now, so I'm able to go over to the facility and see guys working out. So yeah, I feel like that's my message. Everybody is going into spring training and you got to fight. So I'm going to tell Blaze, as I do the other guys, and look, Marte and Perdomo and Carroll, seriously, they're going to be the starting shortstop, second baseman, and right fielder. Okay. But I just want Blaze to be hungry, because when he's hungry, he's going to go out there and earn it. So did a really good job, and he's got to continue to do that same job.
You accidentally, or maybe purposely, perfectly segued into one of the things I was going to ask, which was the dynamic with you and Hazen in the front office. I think this is such an awesome thing, number one, and such a unique thing, and also such an important thing, a big lesson about, obviously, you guys have been tied together for a while. You guys known each other for a long time. I'm sure that you get into arguments just like everybody. But at the same time, you know how each other's operate. You just gave a perfect example of this. And whether it's in the season or right now when there's rumors flying around, whatever, that dynamic, what is the lesson that you can, because we're all about educating, what is the lesson you would give to other managers who are maybe just starting off and trying to understand that? Because they know how to manage, they know how to coach, they know how to maybe deal with players, but that dynamic is different.
Yeah. I would say to be honest, speak up, say what's on your mind, and then one of Tom Brady's anchors, don't take anything personal. Like we get after it. We definitely get after it. And it's not just Mike and I, it's Amiel Sawdaye, it's Mike Fitzgerald, it's Jeff Bannister. We get after it, and we do it for one reason: the good of the player, pushing one another to push the player. And that would be the most important lesson that I would teach people is, there's certain days where it's very tense. You walk in, it's a very tense conversation, but you know where it's going. Mike is very direct, clear, and there's honesty. There's nothing but honesty that's spread in that room. And when we leave, it's over, and we don't take anything personal. And there's certain days that are more intense than others, and there's the voices get raised on certain days more than others. But when he says something, that's my boss, and I can push back. I can tell him what I think. But if he hammers down on it and says, "This is how we're doing it," that's how we're doing it. There's a chain of command there, but he's not like that. He's very open to the room and what the room has to say. And we all have a chair at the table, which is very healthy. But at the end of it, when there's a decision that's made, we all support it. And, like I just said, on August the 1st, when Mike Hazen said, "This is what you're doing," I heard it loud and clear. And that meant me too. Like I'm skating too. We haven't won here in a couple of years. So I better get my SHIT together just as much. So I heard it for me, heard it for the players, and then I continue to amplify it.
First of all, as you're saying this yelling back and forth, I don't know if you ever had this with a reporter. But I had it with a manager, unnamed manager once, and it was fine. Like I got along with all the managers I've covered, but there was one instance where, in the office, yelling, like, "Oh yeah," it was, "Hey." I think I yelled back, "Hey, I didn't write back." I didn't. I feel like I told you this story before. But I didn't write that to be MF by you and the coaches in the back room. Like I was screaming at, right?
Whoa.
And And so anyway, the point is that when I got back upstairs, I emailed him, because when you're in that moment, I don't feel like you articulate everything that you want to say. And like when you're talking about that, like that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know if you email my case.
Yeah. No, I don't. Would the initials be BV by any chance?
No.
Okay.
Before that.
We don't have to go any further.
Although I've witnessed I've witnessed a pretty good one with BV.
Yeah, what I've learned over the course of time is like I have to be submissive. Like that's my boss. I can't. There's times where I just want to be like F you. I'm thinking it like F you. Are you serious? But I can't. That's my boss. So it definitely gets intense in there. And then afterwards, if I have something on my mind, I just pick up the phone and call him. I'm like, hey man, one more thing I want to say on that. And usually what happens is, and this is the dynamic inside of our room, like when we get after it, we may not agree. The door opens, we leave, we agree. And then if you want to spice it up or kind of re-summarize it, this happens 9 times out of 10. The next day we go over it again. Like, boy, I was thinking this and I thought about it through the night and I was a little bit off. And, I think that's my
email. That's the equivalent of my email. Right.
So we do that the next day usually. And I think we all know when we've gone too far, or we were if I'm standing in the wrong pond, swimming in the wrong pond, I'll say it the next day. Like, man, I was so far off. And I've said some brutal things, like I've said some really attacking, brutal things. And I'm like, I come home, the first thing I got to do when I see these guys tomorrow is say, I'm sorry. And I'm not above that. And I think the entire room will say, my bad. I won't let that happen again.
Have you ever had it with a media member like that?
Yeah, a couple times.
Okay.
A couple times. Not publicly. I don't.
No, mine wasn't public either. Believe me. It was, I had the poor media relations person on the outside. I walked out and they're hyperventilating.
Yeah. That's so funny. I wish I was there for that one. That would have been a good show to see. I have had it with a media member, but I do all my dirty work behind the scenes. Like if I'm going to wrestle with somebody, I'm going to pull them in a room and wrestle them in there. And I want everybody to know about it because as soon as it's done, it's done. And if I do something openly, then 10 people are going to see it. If I do something in a dugout or on the field, the world sees it. And I'm going to have to keep talking about it. So yeah, I've had some tussles with some media people. I pull them in my office and I'm like, what are we doing? And where the F is this going? Because you really made a mistake. And usually they have a really good perspective as to why they do things. But when they see what I'm seeing and hear what I got to say, they're like, wow, I wasn't even thinking that. And I was a little late to the draw on what it would do. One time it got to my mom. This is a good one. Got to my mom. And my mom called me when she read it. And she's like, she accused me. She's like, I didn't raise a liar. Because somebody accused me of being a liar openly, right? She's like, I didn't raise a liar. Don't let it happen again. So I had to answer to my mom. And I'm like, Mom, I didn't lie. I promise you. She's like, I just read that you were a liar. I'm like, I didn't lie. I promise you. I'll take care of this tomorrow. So when
you're taking care of it, I don't want to belabor it, but when you're taking care of it, do you say, listen, when my mom is contacted me, like that's where I have. I can't. So.
Hey, I am a son of an unbelievable woman that loves baseball, and she will tell me when things have gone too far for me, right? And when that happened, I'm like, yes. And that's how I opened it. I opened it up with like, you won't believe how I heard this. I heard this because my mom called me this morning. So
right there, it's done. You upper hand, Torey. So the point. So when you have like that dynamic, it's one thing to have it in the season where it's like flying around. What is it like now? Like, in other words, obviously everything's more chill, but you've made some moves, you've signed some pitchers, and what's that like? I mean, is it like just, hey, I just want to touch base on this? Is there like, what's it like for you as a manager?
The off season is obviously slower. Amiel, Sawdaye, Mike is super busy. I think things are moving really fast for him. He's a single dad, so he's continuing to raise his children. So I try not to butt in on his time when I know he's not at the ballpark and he's with his children. although his children are my friends, so he wouldn't mind. I just try to give him that space. And I think Amiel takes up a lot of that responsibility, excuse me. And he'll call me. Amiel calls me like every day, every other day, sometimes twice a day, and says, this is what's happening. This is what we're thinking about. Heads up, we might have a Zoom call here. Be aware this might be a question somebody asks you. If you're going on the Baseball Isn't Boring show in Bradford.
They know you're on the, by the way, do they know?
No, they have no idea.
Oh, they will know. They're avid listeners.
They'll fill in the gaps for me. But look, they're friends of mine. I love Mike Hazen, Amiel Sawdaye, and Mike Fitzgerald. They're my bosses, but they're also my friends. I think that's what creates this uniqueness that a lot of people are probably curious about, and this is what you're asking about. We can be friends, and we'll always be friends. When we step into the arena, we're hardworking, normal employees that do the normal things that you see inside of every clubhouse, and then some. Because of that relationship, we can go from 0 to intense and back and forth. I've been inside of some clubhouses where the manager and general manager don't know each other that well, and they're both trying to take an inch here, an inch here, an inch here. That isn't how it is. We take 10 yards when we want to. We take 100 yards when we want to. We go from 0 to 100 yards if needed. But we see each other through the holidays. We saw each other last night. Last night was my wife's birthday.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, right.
Happy birthday,
Kristen. But so we were all together last night, and we laughed and joked and had a couple glasses of wine and talked about life, and that's healthy. Those are my friends, and I need friends outside of baseball.
You do. That's important. I think you probably, as a manager, you probably have more friends outside of baseball than most. I mean, including the Buffalo Bills head coach. Congratulations. I watch every Bills game now, the way, just to see if I could see you in the stands randomly.
That's so funny. That was a good moment. I didn't know that was going on. I did not know that was going on. But by the way, the Pats are doing great.
I don't care.
Bills the other day.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, but let me ask you this about, because I'm a pro and I'll lose my train of thought if I don't like you.
We're on the same boat for sure.
You had mentioned getting on Zoom calls. Like this is something you've have in the last couple of years. You have signed some pretty big free agents. You're rumored to sign potentially a big free agents, whatever, this year. Have you gotten better at that? Like you're part of that equation. It's not like the be all end all. It's not the days of. I know that you when you went to UCLA, you walked into what's the basketball arena's name? Gamble.
Poly
no,
Pavilion.
that's UConn. But yeah, Poly Pavilion. Yeah. You walked in and they put Torey Lovullo up on the jumbotron, like in Blue Chips. It's not like that anymore. But are you getting pretty good at like knowing, reading, figuring out what your role on those recruiting Zoom calls are like?
For sure. And it takes a little practice, it takes a little time. And sometimes you say things and you go a little bit too far, but I think the player just wants to know that you know them and you're aware of where they are in their career and what opportunity you're going to be able to give them. And I can speak about the opportunity, given the current status, and this is where we're at with this player. You're going to get this type of a look in spring training. If it's a guy that we're going to sign to a long-term deal, you're going to be this type of player for us, for sure. But before I was on my first, actually, if we can go back a few years, Zoom wasn't really popular in 2017. I think it kind of took
right.
over.
No, Zoom, the one thing COVID did, it gave us
COVID brought us Zoom. Right. Okay. So before my first year in 17, I was super anxious about the meetings at the baseball winter meetings in the general manager suite, when you're recruiting players. So I asked people that had been in those meetings with Tito. I had asked people that had been in meetings like that with Joe Madden. And I said, what do they do? I didn't ask Tito directly because he was a manager of another team and I didn't feel like it was right. And Joe was also the manager of another team. But I asked people what those managers were like that I respect so much. What do they do inside of those meetings? And the moral of the story was they're recruiting the hell out of them. They are promoting what they're able to do. Don't really talk about anything negative and talking more about who they are as a person and the information they know about them. And that's kind of what I focus on, because I think the player wants to know, if this guy's bringing this up, wow, he's got to have some sort of a background on me, and I want him to know me, because that's all I want to make sure he cares.
It's so weird. Like I mean, the learning never stops. It really is, because you figure like, oh, with probably a lot of guys, I'm a great recruiter. Are you kidding me? I'm great. Yeah. But as you said, you're elite. Before you were just good. So
well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, listen, we've lost out on some guys. There have been times where we hung up the Zoom call. I'm like, oh, we got this guy, man. 100%. He's in. We just gave him our best shot. And I don't lie. it's all honest. Yeah. But clearly,
that's on them. That's not on you. That's on them.
Probably on them. Yeah. But I'd like to think I'm elite at everything that I do. But Rob, that's so far from the truth. Like,
well, give me now you can't say who this year, but last year, give me your Corbin Burns pitch.
Wow.
Because that was a big one. Like
that was a really, really big one. That was Ken Kendrick was really honing in on that. Spoke to Corbin, and I just said, man, you got a home here. You are, meaning not, he actually does live here. I said, but you will make your home inside of our clubhouse. You will be an impact player that's going to be the driving force that's winning a world championship. And no matter what team you go to, that's going to be the case. You're going to take that team from average to above average to being a World Series contender. So I just want you to know that you're going to be treated different. You're going to be asked questions, and we're going to care about some of the things that you don't even think we know about. But what matters to you matters to me. And that's really important. So as I get to know you through the course of the next amount of months and weeks, if you sign here, I promise you that we're going to get to know you and do everything we can to make you the best pitcher.
Could you feel like that stuck? I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I think so. So. Corbin's great. I just saw him day before yesterday over at the facility, and he's great. He is so accurate and honest with what he's trying to say to you, and doesn't mince words. And we, once again, because we've established this relationship since that Zoom, we're able to get right into conversations. And what's funny, and I got to reference you, I think we had Tuesdays with Torey when I first met you.
Yeah.
I think down in center field. So because you named it that, I would call it Sundays with Corbin.
Oh,
I had every Sunday while he was injured, he would come into my office, and we would sit down for a half an hour, and I'd get a half hour with him. And I told him I said, I want you to come in here and give me a half hour of your day. When I see you walk in here, I'm clearing everybody out. It's just me and you. I want to connect on how you're doing, where you're at. And, he came the first day in his sling, and then the next day Mike Hazen's in there, and then Mike Hazen's asking him questions. So we got really connected, and Corbin and I can get into some deep conversations because of that relationship.
Did you reference that was the impetus for no?
No. I should.
Listen, I just want to get Corbin on the podcast. I want some street cred. I want I'm responsible for something in this life, but all this road it leads me to, because once again, it's all about me. Is I'm thinking of, let's just say I'm going to play agent. Let's just say I'm thinking of moving the baseballs and boring offices to Phoenix.
Woo!
Right. Right.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm weighing some other cities.
Yeah.
Give me your best pitch.
Yeah. Well, Rob, I know we've known each other a long time. I feel like you coming to Scottsdale or the Phoenix area would really solidify this amazing friendship that we have and take this whole thing to the next level. We'd have, occasional dinner parties, Sunday fun days, watching NFL football on Saturdays, maybe some college game day on Saturdays, pro football on Sundays. But the bottom line is you'll be connected to this baseball community as much as anybody. It got Ken Rosenthal here. I think you're the next best thing aside from, well, never mind. I think you're better than Ken Rosenthal. So if it's good enough for you, it's going to be good enough for Ken Rosenthal. And at the end of the day, you're going to have so many resources here. You can play golf on a Friday. You can play golf on a Sunday. Snow's not a factor. Weather's great. and you got baseball fields all over this amazing state.
You make a good case, Torey. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to confer with my wife. I'll tell
Yeah.
her. We have a lot of things to weigh, but you made a good case. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And your wife can come over too. Look, we might
Oh.
like her more than we like you, so that might be the case.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Well, first of all, she must be an unbelievable lady. If she can put up with you, she must be unbelievable.
Speaking of Torey, Tuesdays with Torey, this is a compliment to her, right? This is a compliment to her. She knocked on the window when I was in there, and she said,
no.
She knocked on the window, and you immediately said, "Oh, you're over your skis."
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
She was on the outside, and I'm like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
And was your daughter there too?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely outkicked your coverage for sure.
Yeah. Well, again, I take that. Some people might take that as an insult. I take it as a compliment. So
you should. You should.
Here's the worst segue of all time, but I got to ask sort of like the meat and potatoes here and the now. Like, I'm not going to ask you about. I just want to ask you about Ketel Marte. You mentioned him, about the dynamic of him on your team. And, I feel like, we joke around a lot, but this is an important question now, right? A lot of people are asking about it. What is, for you, what does Ketel Marte, after what he's been through, how do you view him? What does he represent? What's maybe something that's that people is misrepresented about him or are representing about him? What's your take on him right now?
Yes. First of all, I will say that Ketel is an amazing young man. He is feeling oriented. He's compassionate. He cares about winning. He's a great player. He's a great husband. He's a great father. His kids are always running around the clubhouse. And he's a legitimate superstar in this game. I think every team has drama throughout the course of the year. It's almost impossible to go through a year and say that you've had a perfect year where it's drama-free, didn't have to yell at the team one time, didn't have to have any one-on-ones or these one-offs that things exploded in the media. Every team has something like this during the course of the year. Some are national. Most of them are going to be local. But there is drama inside of a baseball season. Ketel had a situation at the All-Star break where he got robbed. Emotionally, he was just probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Did he make the right decision to do what he did? No, he didn't. And he said that. He said as much, and he apologized to his teammates. So we all make mistakes. For me, that kind of pushed everything aside when he was back and he apologized. He said what he said. Now it was time to go play baseball. And I think then it took a new twist this offseason when I know a couple teams called in on him. And I think our front office listens on everybody. That's who we are. We have to do that. We traded Paul Goldschmidt. So we are in that arena. We are that type of a market. So teams kick the tires on it. I don't know what happened, but Mike responded, and now all of a sudden things explode and things get out of control. So where is the state of it right now with Ketel? Ketel is what I said originally. He is a great human being. Yes, there was some drama that surrounded him, but at the end of the day, he loves to win. He loves the big stage. He wants to go out there and power through the best pitchers in baseball. He takes his days off against the pitchers that are the 5A, 4A, number 5s or number 6s, but he wants the number 1s and number 2s and never backs down from a challenge.
You have to, look through the rumors and everything. Is that Mike and Amiel thing, or keeping in touch with him, or do you just check in on? I mean, I would imagine you check in on all your players, right?
Yeah, I'll check in on him.
Yeah.
I sent him a text last text about 10 days ago, and he's really good at responding. He's never absent. So
which by the way is an underrated thing, man. It's
I agree.
I think this has become. I'm going to go on I think it's become one of this. I don't know what it is. I don't understand. Torey, I'm not saying this isn't you. You're pretty good at responding.
Yeah.
But I cannot believe when you text someone and then they finally get back to you, and I'm like 2 seconds later, you respond, and then they disappear again. Anyway, maybe that's just me, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, it never fails, right? It's like I see the bubble. My wife is responding on the bubble. I call her, she doesn't pick up. I'm like, I know you're there. Pick up the phone. You know, I see the text is coming back. She's like, the phone wasn't near me. So
anyway, he's good at responding.
I agree with you on that. Like, people in general are super busy but not busy enough to return a hello. How are you? What's going on? And, you know, I try when I'm done with somebody, I'll probably say, hey, I'll talk to you later, or talk soon, or, I'll check in at another time, just to kind of push it to, I might put my phone down, or I might do something else. Don't expect me to get back to you. But yeah, I won't leave in the mid conversation. That's A. B, I tell the players this, like, if I'm texting you for a reason. I'm looking for an answer, and I'm not looking for a response to every text that I send you. But just give me a thumbs up that you got it. Okay. If I drop something really heavy on you, like, you know, I'm checking in, and, you know, I want to see how your mom's feeling, or your dad's doing, or your sister, or your dog, or whatever, just give me that, so I know that you got it, and then we're good. So our players in Arizona are really, really good at responding, because I think I've guilted them into doing it.
You know what a 24-year-old person who was working with me told me? She actually said, I thought you didn't like me because you kept giving the thumbs up. And then I asked somebody, they said, no, of that age group, I don't want to be, I feel like so old saying this, but that age group, if you give a thumbs up, it's almost like a disrespect. It's yeah, exactly. I'm like, and I'm sorry, but I can't give a heart all the time. I'm just gonna give a thumbs up. So
yeah,
that's my
I'm with you on that. I kind of mix it up a little bit. It's almost like the LOL, right? My kids used to give me a hard time. I'd be like, LOL, and they're like, Dad, laugh out loud is so old right now. You should not be doing that anymore. I'm like, what do I do? They're like, just hit the ha button. So that's what I do. Yeah.
All right. Last thing, because you've been very generous with your time. Time gets away every time we talk, so I appreciate it.
Likewise.
I'm doing a campaign which I'm kicking off. It's because players and Cora and I have gone back and forth of this sort of jokey thing. When you get to spring training, everyone says they're in the best shape of their lives, right? Yeah. So I'm like, this has become a shtick. And by the way, I'm making up T-shirts. I'm in the best shape of my life T-shirts. I'll send some to the Diamondbacks.
Please.
So I'm doing a campaign. I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. I'm going to be reaching full muscle capacity. It's going to be awesome. And so who is the player is going to legitimately be showing up in the best shape of their life?
Oh, man. I'm going to say it's probably going to be Blaze or Corbin Carroll. Blaze, because he's been incentivized, and we've told him, like, hey, man, do not take anything for granted. You got to come in and prepared in the best way and be in the best shape of your life. So we've told him. So I'll say him, and also Corbin Carroll, because every day he's in the best shape of his life. Like, this guy is unbelievable. And, you know, he looks like he's a small player, right? He's not very tall. I think he's 5'10", something like that. But it reminds me of Dustin Pedroia. First time I saw Dustin Pedroia without a shirt on, I'm like, now I know where the bat speed comes from. This guy's got unbelievable shoulders and unbelievable lats and traps. He's just jacked. So that's what I say about Corbin. Corbin doesn't take days off. He is working right now. He's probably bench pressing the moon, and he's going to come in the best shape of his life, because he wants to be better than last year. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, it can't just be a guy who's always in the best shape of their life. It has to be someone.
Okay. I'll take it back. If it can't be Corbin, then I'll go to the next level down. It's going to be Gabby Moreno. Gabby, I've seen some photos of Gabby working, and Gabby last season made a big jump and wanted to get even better. So I think, you know, he was young and had some of that extra baby mass on him, but I think he's going to come in really jacked.
By the way, you and your coaching staff may be near the top of if we're gonna do like body fat percentage,
Yeah.
you guys are pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, go
Pretty
down
good.
the list. I mean, I
Yeah.
think like I don't want to call out any name, but I think I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Yeah, as
So
I'm walking through it, right? I think Brian Kaplan is jacked. Jeff Bannister's jacked. J.R. House is jacked. Dave McKay, 70 plus, jacked. I want to be him. Come back him reincarnated. Who else do we have?
those are the guys. Those are the guys.
Tom Mather and Damian Easley. They're both strong and jacked. You're right. That's a good point.
Oh yeah, those are the guys. As I was going through it, my instincts are keen, and like it all stems from the top. You never look better.
I appreciate that.
Circle of life.
I appreciate that.
Well, hey, listen, I appreciate you coming on. Thanks, man.
I love you, man. I'll talk to you soon. Anytime.